She got drunk and started doing this. Not how I moved her there.
This is Ephesians 5:18. It says, "And be not drunk with wine wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit." I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone, rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect, and much respect to the brothers pushing his word and four winds of the earth. Shalom to you few sincere sisters out there as well. This is Brother Ariel coming at you with another lesson. And in that video, I don't know if it's real or it's fake, but there's always something that can be learned from, a video that's watched. And from this video, which this video is inspired by the brother Ariala and the GMS Dallas camp. He's an elder, and he did a lesson like 2 or 3 weeks ago about, drinking and drinking alcohol and access and drinking a lot of alcohol and things of that nature. And it kind of hit home, as far as like brothers getting together and drinking and, things like that, which should be kept to a minimum. And in that video there, they saying that the woman was drunk and, obviously, a spirit had entered her. And, that could definitely happen as far as, getting, drinking too much, and a demon coming on you. I've seen it plenty of times, working in, clubs and bars and, and all that, in that nightlife scene. I've seen it way too many times, man. Shootouts, people getting stabbed, all types of shit. Okay? So, that's something that happens a lot. So, in the video, you may see it and, that's far-fetched, but things like that do happen. I've seen it firsthand. And, for me, first off is quick testimony. I'm at a job now working at a bar, and, I'm bouncing or whatever. So at the end of the shift, they say, yo, you could drink as much as you want, which I know was a test from the Lord, to see or, to see what I'm going to do or whatever, And, you got Satan right there trying to tempt me, things of that nature, And one particular night, I was drinking, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, I was drinking. I was going in, drinking some Henny too, which is my go-to drink, which I try not to drink as much anymore. So anyway, I'm driving home, and on my way home, it's a dark road, man. It's real dark. The lights are like dim. They're not bright at all. So it's a dark road that I take all the way home. So I'm on my way home and I'm driving. Now, I'm not saying that I'm sober. I'm not, I'm kind of bent, I'm kind of, but I'm good enough to drive and get myself home, which I shouldn't be driving like that anyway. I was dead wrong for that. But out of nowhere, I'm rolling up. I don't see nothing. And then right before I get to it, I see it, which is a baby deer. And I happened to run. I ran over the deer and just kept going. I know some of y'all are like, damn, you killed Bambi. But, that's what happened. I ran over it and I kept going. But it came out of nowhere. And at that instance, I know that's the Lord. The Lord put that deer there to tell me, you need to slow your ass down from drinking. Because, being in this truth, sometimes it could be very stressful, man. It could. And sometimes you may go overboard with the drinking. Okay. And, that night I did. And ever since that night, I promise you, I've definitely slowed down a lot because that woke me up, man. Let me know that next time it could be something worse, or it could be a bigger deer, or it could be, a group of people or what have you, So that really woke me up and opened my eyes, man. That's the Lord chastising me, letting me know that I needed to slow down, man. Okay, so of course, for you younger men and women that drink, um, drink moderately. Scriptures speak on that too. That's Ecclesiasticus, the 31st chapter, and yeah, I'll start here. At 25 and read the I'll read to 30 here. And it says, "Show not thy valiantness in wine, for wine hath destroyed many." You got a lot of people that can't control their liquor, and they'll go out, starting fights and, arguments and throwing shit at people and all types of stuff, man. Okay, which have caused many to be killed. Right? That's what this scripture is saying. "Show not thy valiantness in wine, for wine hath destroyed many. And the furnace proveth the edge by dipping, so doth wine the hearts of the proud by drunkenness." Okay? And wine is as good as life to a man, if it be drunk moderately. What life is then to a man that is without wine, for it was made to make men glad. Okay, wine measurably drinking or drunk, and in season bringeth gladness of the heart and cheerfulness of the mind. But wine drunken with excess maketh bitterness of the mind, with brawling and quarreling. And drunkenness increaseth the rage of a fool till he offend. It diminisheth strength and maketh wounds. Okay, so yeah, this is speaking of wine here, which is pretty much gonna be my go-to drink now. Now, am I gonna over drink it? No, I'll drink it because wine is good for your gut health as well. It helps to break down food in your stomach and help you digest food as well, man. Not just water. Yeah, pretty much here. First Peter, the 5th chapter, the 23rd verse, where Paul had told no, not First Peter. What is it? 1 Timothy 5 and 23, where Apostle Paul told this to Peter, and it says, "Drink no longer water, but use a little wine for thy stomach's sake and thine orphan infirmities." Okay, so there are definitely some goodness to drinking. Benefits to drinking wine, for the stomach and all that. And yeah, like I said earlier, man, the stresses of life alone. I don't want to put it all on this ministry, which could be tough at times as well. But just the stresses of life alone can lead many to, drink an abundance of alcohol, man. Which at the end of the day, you're killing yourself, man. I remember when I was younger, I would drink a fifth of Henny to the face, and be good. I'm 46 years old now. I can't be doing shit like that. And so I know that, me having this job is a test, to see which way or which road I take, So now pretty much I go there to, get my money, I may have a drink, but not every day, not at all. Probably on a Saturday, Definitely not on a Friday before camp. But on, a Saturday night or whatever, have a couple of drinks and go home, But, drinking every day is pretty much the worst thing that you can do. Like it says here in Ecclesiasticus, the 19th chapter, I believe, especially for you brothers, man. And for me too, for us brothers. Ecclesiasticus 19 and 2, wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away, and he that cleaveth to harlots will become impudent. Okay? And that's another thing that, I'm dealing with at the job, It's not just the liquor, but it's the women. You know, so it's a lot of there'll be a lot of horny women, in the bar that I work at, man. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But they are, and it could be tempting at times, you know. But I always, told myself I don't want to shit where I eat. That's why I make my money. So, there's no use to, dibbling and dabbling, you know. Even though, it could be very, very tempting. But, wine and women is what I'm surrounded with at my job, So I always try to keep this scripture here in mind, you know, because, we all going to be tested, man, while we're in this truth with different things or maybe vices that we may have had when we were in the world, man. And them vices may try to, show their or rear their ugly head again to see if they can bring you down, and that's how I really started feeling. And them demons will attack you, man. There's demons everywhere. There's demons everywhere. And I had seen this video where they were making these glasses, where you could see things that the human eye can't see. And they were saying that when they were looking through the glasses, they were seeing shadowy black figures everywhere with like long fingers. Everywhere. Which would be what? Demons. Which would probably be demons what they were seeing. This is the same thing they said they were seeing in Vietnam. When they had the when they had the what are the I forgot what those glasses are called. Yeah, they were the night vision goggles, right? But they didn't have the green tint, they had the red tint. And with the red tint, that's what's bugging out a lot of those people, those men in Vietnam, where they were seeing, demons flying in the air, man. They were seeing a lot of things like that, plus the drugs that they were being given, which is I believe is called BZ. The drug is called BZ. Was having them hallucinate, okay, and see different things, okay. Which lets us know that there's demons all around us, man. So when you're drinking, this is why they call strong drink, which is hard liquor, spirits. Wine is not called spirits and beer is not called spirits, even though it can deteriorate your health. Hard liquor is called spirits for a reason, okay? And those hard liquors, if you're drinking in excess, can cause demons and evil spirits to jump on you to do certain things, man. So it's just best to just stay away from that. For me, I'm just speaking as a man for myself, just giving advice. That's not the best thing to drink. I would say wine and water, wine and water, man. If you do drink, liquor, hard liquor, drink it, moderately or very little, man. Don't drink that in excess, because that can cause you to make wrong decisions, man. Which, like I did, I made a wrong decision driving home that night, but the Lord woke my ass up, Let me get Proverbs, the 31st chapter. Proverbs 31. And I'll start at 4. And I'll just read 4 through 7. And it says, "It is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. And give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish." Back then, that's when, strong drink was given to a man that was ready, that was on his deathbed, so he didn't feel the pain. Okay, and wine unto those that be heavy of hearts. That's why, we're so, I don't want to say we're downtrodden, but, it's stressful living here in the captivity in Babylon the Great. And wine is made to make, men merry of heart. Just drink it in moderation, like the scriptures say. You know, and you ready to die, then you're gonna continue to keep drinking that hard liquor. You know, and it says, "Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more." Okay, and open thy mouth for the dumb. Oh no, I don't want that. I just wanted 7. Well, it says, "Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more." So there'll be from time to time, we will drink and partake of some of an alcoholic beverage, just to just chill out, man, and just relax, okay, and not have to think about certain things, just for a moment, man. You know, even though we know once that buzz goes down, those thoughts and things like that are gonna come right back. The things we have to deal with day in and day out, living here in this hell. You know. Well, I just want to bring this quick little lesson out, um, because shit, I almost messed myself up, man. Um, Out here drinking, uh, like I wasn't supposed to. I admit that. You know what I mean? But it's all about correcting yourself. We live in this flesh, and there's always a battle between the flesh and the spirit. So in that instance, the flesh won, but the Lord shook my spirit, man, and had me to know that, look, you better slow down, man, before I have something even worse happen to you. The Lord would do that, man. But if the Lord wasn't dealing with me, then the Lord would let me continue on down the path that I was going. You know, so this is just a quick lesson on drinking in moderation, and not drinking in excess, because it can lead you down the path of destruction, man, before you know it. Judgment is always waiting around the corner, man. You never know if it's gonna come or not. So it's best to stay on your P's and Q's, and remain in the spirit. So I just wanted to share that as like a quick testimony, really. So I just want to do a quick lesson on that, and I pray it was edifying. And I want to say shalom to the next one.